in this. So initially we had written it this way, that string value will be equal to this, property is equal to new properties. So there are multiple, we are covering a lot of things. So this is called lazy initialization. Uh, Here we were ensuring that the value is null for value. We will throw an exception right over here, and once we throw the exception, so if for any key value is not there, we will throw the exception. But one thing needs to be added, that what if the key is not there? So that's why we will add or statement here. Okay, and then we will learn about a new thing called static blocks. We will be using this in this. So what it helps in doing is, static blocks helps in initializing uh, static variables. Okay, so initially, the way we were doing this was lazy initialization, right? So we need to do eager initialization. So how do we do it? So it in the eager initialization, it loads the class, these files in the static blocks quite early, even before execution. Okay, so here we have this static block. Okay, so what we did was, I had put it in. So initially we had this property, these three lines, right? These three lines. So what we are doing now is, okay, we had put it in the get value function. So we will now create a static block, and we will load all these files, the properties file. There will be a lot of files, right, in the file folder, in this folder. So what we'll do is, we will put it in the static block. So forget about the try catch right now. So first this line will be there, then this line will be there, right? And then for third line was properties, prop is equal to new properties, right? That was also there in the starting itself. Properties equal to new properties. So why I put it over here is because it needs to be accessed in this method also. So otherwise it will show you. We need to declare it at a class level. So that's why I declared it as private static properties prop is equal to new property. So here we are trying to load the file. Okay, and here if exception, there are two exceptions that will come in this. One is file not found exception, so we are handling that using the try catch block. Okay, so that we don't have to throw the exception, right? And for then this, the way we are doing this is lazy initialization, right? I mean, with static we are of course doing it with early eager initialization, but now how this loads things is, this prop dot load will return it's a hash table. So we need to, so hash table is what? Hash table is thread safe. Hash table is thread safe but slow. So we will use a hash map here. Okay, so this, so the hence we will put all the values of the properties file in this in the hash map. So we declared a hash map here, right? Why did I declare here and not inside this? Because again I have to access it in the get method, where I am getting the value of that, right? So I declared a map, string map is equal to new hash map, right? And then because I want both to be strings, so that's why I have put it a string, because I'll putting a string, and then I'll getting also. I want to get also, response also wants to be string, right? Okay, and the key is also string. So what I'll do is, I'll iterate over this using a advanced for loop. So this is an object, because in hash table it's an object. Object a prop dot key set. This will return me a set. You can see here, returns a set of views. A set view of keys contain this map. Okay, it will return a keys. So I want to iterate over the keys and then put all the values of these keys and map them to the respective values, right? So string dot value of, because this is an object, that's why we are using this wrapper string, and then string dot value of prop dot get. So we are not using get property here because it will return a string. You can see here that, sorry, so get will return me, it returns an object. Okay, see, it returns an object, and get property returns a string. Okay, it returns a string. Okay, okay, this takes a string and returns a string. Got it. And this one takes an object, returns an object. Okay, so if I use get property, then it would take a string, right? I don't want that. It is an object, as you can see here, right? So then I am wrapping it using a wrapper called string to get the value of this. Okay, and then using this get function, we are using the similar function which we were using initially and trying to get it, right? We can use multiple static blocks also in this. Okay, so mostly we use it for initializing variables and for doing it and so if you want to initialize variables and do it only once, so you can use a static block. The disadvantage is uh, it would take unnecessary space. If for example you're loading files and you're not using it, so it will take unnecessary. So only put values that you want to load, right? So yeah, so this is how we do it. mm. So here there is some code error also. So this snarlint is giving me an error also over here. I saw somewhere this for, so it's saying that we should use a entry set here. I saw some map.entry, right? So we can use that map.entry, which says that map is an object maps to the values. A map cannot contain duplicate keys, which means each key can map to at most one value, right? Both key and value are needed. It is more efficient to treat the entry set. Key and value both we are accessing, right? So then we use entry set. So that's why. So here we are returning, right? Okay. If the entry set method is not iterated, when both key and value are needed, it can lead to unnecessary lookups. This is because each lookup requires two operations: one to retrieve the key and other to retrieve the value. By treating the entry set method, the key value pair can be retrieved in a single operation, which can improve performance. Right? This is what it is saying. That we can use. So I'm not using here, but if you want, you can use it. Okay. So that's it for this video.